Hello everyone, greetings from PayTabs technical support team. In this series, you will learn how to integrate with PayTabs through our PT2 API endpoints. And we will walk you through the fourth integration type, which is the own form. For the purpose of this series, we have created a very simple Laravel project to walk you through the integration process. But feel free to follow the steps in this series with your own project, whatever the programming language or the frameworks used to integrate with PayTabs. So, let's get started. In this video, we are going to learn more about one of our follow-up transactions, which is the void transaction. So, let's get started. The first thing you should know is that you can find the full documentation for this part inside PayTabs support portal under the article called the Own Form APIs Integration Manual. Now, from the integration manual, if you navigated to step 7 over here, manage transactions, you can see that this step is dedicated to manage your already existed transactions. So whenever you want to do any follow-up transaction to your already existing transaction, this is the step that you could check. Now for this video, we want to clarify the void transaction, and you should know that the capture and void transactions are only done upon the auth transaction type. To learn more about the transaction types and the differences between them, you can check our solution article, What is Transaction Type? Now here what we are going to learn is about the void transactions, and you can see that the void request payload is very simple. We are passing the transaction reference that we want to void, and we are just using the transaction type of void. So in order to do that, we are going to initiate first an auth transaction. So we are going to get back to our code over here and make sure that our transaction type is auth. Once that is done, I'm going to get back over here to my payment page. This time I want to initiate a payment, normally a normal payment. Here it comes. I'm going to use one of my test cards. This is not a test card. I'm going to use this one, for example. Paste it over here like that. Once I click on checkout, now I'll have a successfully authorized transaction. It's typed auth. Now the next thing, I'm going to use this transaction reference in my auth view. This is my capture view. I'm going to navigate to my void view. Now what I want to do is I want to void this transaction reference, meaning retrieving or releasing the amount back to the customer account. So now, as you can see, this transaction amount was 100, so I can only void 100 or less. So I'm going to void the whole 100, but you need to make sure inside the request payload over here, I will get you through the void payload. You can see that the transaction type is void. I am passing the transaction reference, all things sub. I'm using the same currency. I'm using the amount or less. And now we can get back over here. Let's use the transaction reference. Let's use the amount, the total amount. And now once you void or pass this transaction, you will see that the card has been passed successfully. Now you have voided the transaction successfully. Now we can move to the next part.